Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island, and our guest this week is Stephanie Israel from the East End Arts. Stephanie, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This week we're going to talk about the arts situation on the East End, and by the East End we're referring to both the North Fork and the South Fork. But before we do that, we're going to quickly go into pizza. Your favorite pizza place, you have friends coming in from out of town, where do you take them for pizza?
I'd have to say Uncle Joe's. There's three. One in Hampton Bays, the original, and they just opened Mattituck and Riverhead.
Terrific.
Yeah.
What about it makes it special?
There's this, I don't know if it's cheese on the crust or little breadcrumbs or something, but it
Uncle Joe's,
adds a
Hampton
little
Bays,
extra.
Mattituck, and
Riverhead.
Riverhead. Terrific. Stephanie, thank you very much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about the East End Arts, the origins, and really the mission of your organization.
Sure. We got started back in 1972, and now we've grown from just an arts council to supporting artists. And in '95, we took on a music school out in Riverhead, and now we have a gallery, we have a music school. It's no longer an arts council or just a school. We're really a center and a community for artists and art lovers on the East End.
And when you say art, you're talking about
music, visual art, performance art, spoken word, they're everything.
anything really in the creative realm.
Yeah.
Walk us through a little bit, why are the arts, or why is the arts so important to a community?
It really, providing that sort of cultural, opportunity for the community, whether it's artists or just the general public, to sort of inspire, the activities that are happening around town. So, and just really to provide that cultural sort of opportunity for everyone.
So a cultural opportunity, so you do what you can to encourage and facilitate artists and painters and musicians to kind of bring them out. What's the benefit to the local community other than the actual artists and musicians?
Sure, we have, education opportunities that other, wouldn't exist really if we weren't there. We have music lessons, which there's not a lot of places that offer that. Also, visual art classes for all ages and levels, so kids, adults. It really inspires people, and there's so many great stories about kids who, got a scholarship, started taking voice lessons, and now they're on Broadway or something. It's really incredible. Additionally, we also do other sort of just general public events, like our Community Mosaic Street Painting Festival, which is just, for the community, come out and enjoy the arts for the day in the community with it,
Well, let's talk a little bit about the benefit to the community. Meaning, when you have a festival, when you have street fairs, how does the non-artist community benefit?
It's a huge economic driver, especially in downtown Riverhead, which is in the middle of a revitalization. So it's bringing people downtown. More people are walking around, spending money in town, going to the restaurants. And we also do Winterfest, which is a music festival in February and March, which is usually the very slow season out on the East End.
Right.
But it's 6 weeks of concerts at
Wow.
the Vineyards,
Okay.
and it's a huge cultural tourism program and major economic driver for the region during the off-season, which is...
Well, you tapped into something really key, is that walkable downtowns that you hear a lot about, and it just, to me, it adds a great deal of cachet and pride in the local community, because you associate the arts with a certain level of sophistication that you might not always associate with Long Island.
Yeah, and also a lot of the businesses are realizing if they somehow incorporate the arts into their business a little bit more, it gives them, more of a unique sort of spin on their business. And so we have a bakery downtown that's working with one of our artists and has, poetry readings there now
See, now how cool is that?
Yeah,
And that's in Riverhead?
Yeah.
See, that's one of the things, and thank you so much for walking us through that. That's one of the things we're trying to showcase, is you have all these fun, artsy-fartsy kinds of thing going on Long Island. Is there a website that people can go to get more information?
Yeah, website is www.eastendarts.org.
Okay, terrific. So they go there, they can find out more about the your organization and also the events you have coming up this summer.
Yep, absolutely.
Terrific. Our guest today has been Stephanie Israel. We're going to talk some more about what's coming up this summer and going forward with the East End Arts. So Stephanie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Corinne Caro and I'm here with Dominique. She is the host of our show, Art and Fashion, and thank you so much for having a show each week.
Oh, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I love your shows. It brings in starving artists and people that have such creative ability. Thank you for doing it. What do you do when you look for a host?
I know a lot of creative people. I know people in all walks of art and fashion. So I just look for people who have done things that are different, who have found their own little path and are working on something really creative and really special.
I feel like you're creative in yourself. Tell us a little bit about your clothing store.
I have a vintage clothing store, Paper Doll Vintage Boutique. We specialize in clothes from the 20s through the 70s, 80s. And then we also have mid-century reproductions of like pinup style clothing of like the 40s and 50s. So it's also unique, one-of-a-kind clothing.
I love it. That's your creative. If you'd like to be on Dominique's show, please contact us at the Daily Blue, 631-761-9223.
Welcome back to Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, a.k.a. Mr. Long Island. The guest this afternoon is Stephanie Israel. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here. Stephanie is with the East End Arts. And in the first segment, you spoke a little bit about the East End Arts. Tell us a little bit about what's going on this summer, what's coming up, what can you expect if you're going out to the North Fork or the South Fork?
Yeah, we have a lot going on this summer, specifically at East End Arts. Actually, this Sunday, Memorial Day Sunday, is our street painting festival. We have professional artists who come out and do, 3D street drawings, which is really cool, and also families. It's really a whole mix of people. Also live music. Food trucks, it's a lot of fun. Also artists and vendors as well.
So people may be looking to get out. It's supposed to be very nice weather-wise this week. You want to get out and walk around the downtown. You can see creative people engaging in the artistic process.
Yep, we closed down East Main Street, and it's just a whole walking street. Everybody's out and checking out all the art.
In Riverhead.
Yep.
And the beautiful part of Riverhead is even the downtown has so much character to it and so much beauty, and there is actually a river, but also in the surrounding area there's plenty going on.
Yeah. It's going to be a great day. We also have our Teenie Awards coming up June 7th. So that's a high school theater recognition program. And so throughout the year we have judges, anonymous judges, who go to all of the I think it's 16 high schools are participating this year, go to all of their musical productions and plays throughout the academic year. And then we have a Tony Awards awards ceremony in June. So that's coming up on June 7th at San Mauritius High School.
And are you seeing more of or an enhanced appreciation for what the arts bring to the community, both on the North Fork and the South Fork?
Yeah, especially with the Teenie Awards, so many people come out, especially parents and friends of the high school nominees. And it's great to see that they're really supporting the students who are, really studying theater and music and things like that. A lot of times things are getting cut from schools, but it's good to see that there's still parental support behind it.
And do you find it challenging that maybe you might associate the arts more with the South Fork than the North Fork, or is that changing, or is that...
There's a lot of galleries and things. Well, there's not necessarily a museum or anything on the North Fork for music. There's definitely a lot of galleries, spaces, and, artist tours and things like that.
Well, I've heard the Hamptons referred to as Manhattan East. Mm-hmm. The North Fork, though, to me, is just as colorful, just as much charm as the Hamptons. And now you're having all these different art events.
Yeah, a lot of the vineyards also do music and have artwork on display, too. So there's art everywhere.
So there's a lot to kind of take in, either through a walkable downtown event or just driving around. And if people want more information, they can go to your website?
Yep.
And-
Yeah, that's www.eastendarts.org.
And you're going to have events throughout the summer and maybe even into the fall, or?
Yeah. Actually, in August, we have a kickoff event, public arts unveiling event. So basically, we have, leading up to it, there's 6 months program for about 20 artists who applied and were selected to participate in a professional development workshop. So we found that a lot of artists, while they're fantastic at their craft and make beautiful artwork, they don't necessarily can't make the connection with turning their art into a business and having it be sort of a self-sustaining business. And we have a series of workshops where we do, legal issues for artists, marketing and social media, public speaking, financing and budgeting and fundraising and things like
So
that.
you help them handle the business end, let them focus on the creative end.
Yeah, it's sort of more of giving them the resources and tools and the knowledge to go ahead and take their business on, basically. And then part of the 6-month period, they create a public art project that's presented on August 7th. It's a Friday night. And so there's a lot. Last year was our first year. There's, we had murals, we had, community dance things, we had poetry, a fire ceremony. So this year is going to be similar and a lot of fun downtown. Yeah.
And there's a lot going on. And you've also facilitate the local business community being able to work closely with the arts community to kind of add some cachet to what they do and bring the visitors in from Western Long Island and points elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's beautiful. We're right on the river.
Sure.
There's a lot. We'll also have wine tasting at the event too, which is fun.
So the arts are alive and well on the North Fork and the South Fork on Long Island.
Absolutely. Lots going on. So.
Terrific. Let's get the website one more time.
It's www.eastendarts.org.
Terrific. Our guest today has been Stephanie Israel from the East End Arts, and this has been another episode of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, a.k.a. Mr. Long Island, and we thank you very much for your time.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900, or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.